It had been 4 months of silence. You had done the work. You had blocked the number. You had cried in the wrong places at the wrong times. And then, slowly, you had stopped crying. You had built something quiet around the hole they used to occupy. And then your phone lit up. It was not an apology. Not exactly. It was not an attack either. It was something stranger, a memory, a song, a photograph from a trip neither of you had thought about in 2 years. A short message that did not ask for anything, just 6 words, just enough to put their voice back in your head. You read it twice, then a third time. Before you had consciously decided anything, your nervous system had already started doing what they wanted it to do. That message had a name, the technique had a name, and the timing, 4 months in, right when you were finally stable, was not a coincidence. It was the script. This is hoovering. And once you understand the mechanics, you stop reading the message as communication. You start reading it as a vacuum. The term comes from the vacuum brand. The metaphor is the entire point. Hoovering is what a manipulator does when you have left, gone quiet, started healing, and they reach back in to pull you back into the dynamic. It is rarely an apology. It is rarely a confession. It is almost always a tactic disguised as something softer, a memory, a question, an emergency, a piece of nostalgia. The form changes, the function never does. Here is what we are covering today. What hoovering actually is and what distinguishes it from a genuine attempt at contact. The 7 forms it takes and why each one is calibrated to a different vulnerability. The neuroscience of why it works even when you see it coming. The 3 diagnostics that tell you in real time whether a contact attempt is a hoover, and the 4-part protocol that closes the loop without giving them what they were sent to collect. Here is the part that surprises most people. The manipulator does not always want you back. What they want is access. Access to your attention, access to your guilt, access to the version of you that still loves them, still wonders about them, still flinches when their name comes up. As long as that version of you exists, they have somewhere to return to when they need supply. You become a deposit account they can withdraw from indefinitely, with a message as small as 6 words. That is why hoovering can feel weirdly low stakes when it happens. They do not ask for much. They do not escalate. They send a short, almost forgettable message and then disappear again. You are left holding the disturbance. You are left wondering what it meant. You are left in some quiet corner of your psychology, waiting. Waiting was the goal. The message did not need to open a door. It only needed to put you near one. Closure was the thing they could not tolerate. Closure means you got out. Closure means the supply ended on your terms, at a time of your choosing, without their involvement. Hoovering is the move designed to ensure that never really happened, that even your exit was, in some small way, on their schedule. This is why hoovering almost always arrives precisely when you are building something new. Stability is the trigger. Your progress is the alarm. The first type is the nostalgia hoover. A song you both loved, a photograph from a vacation, a reference to an inside joke, pure emotional residue, no demand attached. It looks like a soft moment. It functions like a hook. The point is to bypass your prefrontal cortex and access the part of your brain that still has them filed under warm. If you respond at all, even to say, "Do not text me," they have what they wanted. The account is open again. The apology hoover is more dangerous because it looks like the thing you were waiting for. They acknowledge they were wrong. They take responsibility. They use the words you needed to hear 6 months ago. Read it carefully. The apology is almost always partial. It admits to a small thing while sidestepping the actual harm. It is calibrated. A real apology comes with no ask attached and no expectation of response. A hoovering apology is the opening move of a longer game. Something terrible has happened to them. A health scare, a family death, a breakdown. They are reaching out because you were the only one who truly understood them. Sometimes the crisis is real, sometimes it is manufactured. Either way, the timing is suspicious. It almost always arrives precisely when you have stopped responding to softer attempts. The crisis is engineered to make ignoring them feel cruel. Your empathy is the lever they are pulling. Compassion was never a flaw until it was weaponized. They contact you about something practical, a piece of mail that arrived, a friend's birthday, a logistical detail neither of you actually needs to resolve. The content is irrelevant. The function is to prove there is still a reason to be in contact. If you engage, the surface-level conversation is just the wrapper around the real message. We are still in each other's lives. The information was not the point. The channel being open is the point.